Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
And it's time to blast off into the weekend. It is Friday, the 25th day of May, 2012, and we're going to be launching via the InfoWars Command Center, the rolling command center, this weekend on our way to Virginia and Bilderberg 2012. And there are reportedly going to be well over 1,000 people conservatively there. I look forward to seeing you. And I've got some information on that coming up today. I just saw this story earlier at Infowars.com, and I linked through to the Daily Telegraph and newspapers in Australia. It's true. Once a very free country under the Magna Carta, it is now basically like China. Of course, Communist Chinese pretty much own the country now, over 90% of their rare earth minerals, you name it. So why not? Total globalist treason. But Australians face huge fines for speaking ill of new carbon tax. If you talk bad about the carbon tax, they have passed a law, the Commissars, because they've already had 2 governments fall over trying to pass this. It is a 50% tax on the sheep farmers and others, saying you can't even use your own property, 20% tax on others. There's a whole, they have TV shows about green police over there where you actually get forced home inspections and harassment. Agenda 21 is coming in there 100%, and it's meant to shut down their industries. Of course, the big globalist industries are all exempt. If you didn't think small business was basically hanging on by its fingernails and almost extinct, it will be now. And of course, you have school teachers here saying, talk bad about the government, you're going to go to jail to the children. This is the new model. The re-education camps are ready. It's a 1.1 million, excuse me, in Australian currency, 1.1 million if you speak bad about it. Because they're calling that a lie. The government's passed a law that you can't talk bad because they say it's a lie. What did police in Missouri, when they got up on the news when Obama was campaigning 4 years ago, in that newscast, they said, if you lie, and they said, for example, and say he's not a Christian or wasn't born here, we will decide it's a lie and arrest you. There's no law, but we're going to use false advertising and say that's what it is. I mean, these are tyrants. So we say this won't increase prices. No, it won't increase prices at all. California's got its 20% tax going in, and there's a giant total exodus. And San Francisco is an open sewer now because they've invited and paid for the homeless to come there from around the country so they can accost people and vomit and have sex in the streets and defecate everywhere. There are some homeless now who are real homeless because the economy's imploding. They're fed on and robbed by the gangs of drug-addled, spoiled brats. They all look like basically, it's like I've been to San Francisco many times, like armies of Leslie Cochrans. They're going to build a statue to here in Austin. Everybody's like, oh, it's so cute, the homeless guy. I had an office next door to where Leslie lived in luxury. This is a guy who went around in cheerleader outfits with a big beard. And I'm going to hold my tongue about Leslie. But if anybody ever criticizes me for talking bad about his holiness, I'm going to tell you what I've seen, okay? Including at Access Television 10-plus years ago when he had a show there and would use both the bathrooms. I'll just leave it at that. I'll just leave it at that. I'm going to stop right there. The point is, no one even knows what I'm talking about nationwide. But side issue, I just was reading how they're passing $7 million a year to fund a giant luxury condo thing for homeless. But it won't be the real homeless, the 4 families driven into homelessness, the CPS takes their kids. No, it's going to be a vomitorium like the Romans had, for a bunch of people to run around, inject heroin, drink liquor, and vomit all over each other. And believe me, that's what these guys do. They go around and vomit on each other. I've witnessed it. This is Alex Jones with 5 Good...
and the GCN Radio Network.
That's right, it continues straight into this worldwide Friday broadcast, the 25th day of May. I'll be back this Sunday live from the road. I'll probably already be in Tennessee on my way to Virginia to cover Bilderberg 2012 there in Chantilly, and that is where it's located. I made some phone calls yesterday, and they still got the conference set there. They're not moving it, so this is going to be exciting. This is going to be powerful. This is going to be informative. We're going to have live feeds, not just during the radio show, but in the evening, you name it. We're going to do live shows for Prisonplanet.tv with a host in studio to be playing news clips and news packages we've done, but I'll also be doing some live shows, 7 o'clock Central, from Bilderberg on the InfoWars Nightly News as well. Last year, before I get into the news, I sent Paul Watson of England, Britannia, and I sent Aaron Dykes of Texas. We could have sent John Carter from of Earth, but the point is, to the Swiss Alps in the James Bond setting of St. Moritz, and just our Justin TV channel that we never even promote, it's just a backup, had 3.5 million views over 3 days. We had some other channels with, I don't know, 3 or 4 million views as well, putting it all together. Not to mention syndicated radio with the live feeds and video. It was huge. I mean, we send our reporters. ABC News goes and does live feeds, and they don't even have counters, but I've talked to people up there. I mean, their nightly news only has a few million viewers on broadcast TV now. And you're talking about maybe a few 100,000 that end up watching videos they post online. We, the so-called alternative media, 3.5 million on a Justin TV channel. I bet Justin TV made some moolah off that. We didn't make any money off the ads they placed over it. Every time you watched a live feed, you had to endure a minute ad first. And people could say, well, hey, stream it on your own Prisonplanet.tv. We can for subscribers, but we cannot pay to have 3.5 million people. We're trying to work on being able to put our own video ads over things, but I don't even have sponsors that big to be able to pay for that. I mean, you're talking about conservatively 3.5 million views, even low, mid-range quality like Justin had. We're talking probably $50,000, maybe more. That's what we're talking about here, even if you've got bulk bandwidth. This is very expensive. Just the guys uploading to YouTube, because we didn't change the data plan for Europe, was thousands of dollars just in data uploads. But here I am digressing on a syndicated radio show, getting into kind of behind-the-scenes machinations and things that are going on. Take a little drink of Beyond Tangy Tangerine from InfoWarsTeam.com. That is product placement, by the way. Just because I have this and actually want to drink, I thought I'd do a product placement right now. That's how you also fund us. Man, that's good. I didn't like how it tasted at first. Now I'm completely addicted. All right, let's digress away from there as my brain bounces around like a ping pong ball. We launched Wednesday, 2 days ago, the InfoWars social network to get people that love liberty together to organize pockets of resistance, not just here in the U.S., but worldwide against tyranny. It exploded. Tens of thousands of people signing up, hundreds of thousands in there looking at it. And there's a lot of interactions with the social network, checking all the statuses and things. That's why the last one we had that got 30+ thousand, 40,000, I forget the exact number, it's close to 40,000 members ended up crashing. But this time it's all been backed up, checked. There were a few tweaks that had to be made. It got slow for about a day. Now it's working really good, but we're still beefing things up. That's why it's in beta. And soon we're about to change the front page where whatever you vote up is the top groups and the top stories. So there's going to be a lot of new things getting added today and tomorrow at planetinfowars.com. And I want to encourage, and people are now doing this, I'm seeing amazing articles being written. I'm seeing incredible photos being linked to and posted. I'm seeing really powerful poetry. I'm seeing folks put together big compilations of globalist quotes. I'm seeing people already organizing. I'm seeing a lot of really cool stuff, and I'm having to remind and encourage my writers and webmasters for Infowars.com, Prisonplanet.com, the editors, to get in there and get some of the really powerful articles that are being written and to at least post part of them and then link back to the person's page. So we're going to really try to focus in and pay a lot of attention to planetinfowars.com. But I'm also busy still, and I think on the bus ride over 2 days, up to Virginia that I'm going to be rewatching, because the problem is we had so many folks on the InfoWars reporter contest. That's a good problem to have. Over 1,000 total came in. Over 600 followed the rules and so qualified to be in the contest. And I am going to sit there with our G4 connections on the different iPads and Samsung pads and systems we have. I'm going to have 4 guys. Well, there's 4 guys counting the driver. The 3 of us that aren't driving the bus, I drive it some, but are going to be going back over the ones that we've already honed down to about 100. So we're going to try to, while we're driving up there, we're also going to do some live reports that'll be at prisonplanet.tv on the way up there, really as a beta test of all these new 4G systems we've gotten. And 3Gs is back up. And then we've got some good old-fashioned backups as well, where if they jam our cell phones, we're going to have some other systems to be able to get the communiques out. So a lot is happening. A lot is happening. A lot is going on. And so soon I should be able to post, I think we'll probably hone it down to about 20, and then post those 20 videos in 3 rounds on Infowars.com and just see your feedback. Have some crude voting systems where you can, vote there on the site and tell us what you like. That won't actually determine it, but it'll feed into the feedback to see what you're liking, kind of the wisdom of the crowd, and we'll see where that goes. So I'm going to try, when I get back from Bilderberg, to collate the high-def footage and get that on the nightly news that we'll have. All the mid-grade and, well, even some of it high-def will be going out if the G4 systems work properly. We'll get back, collate that, get that on the nightly news as quickly as possible and on the radio show for you. And then we'll also then try to start the whole public vetting of the male and female reporters that are going to win the $5,000 each. And then they'll obviously be in the front running if everything's congenial and can be satisfactory to all the parties. Hire people from the contest. That is my intention, but the prize is the 10,000 Federal Reserve notes that look like U.S. money, total fraud, hiding in plain view. So we'll be paying you in those Federal Reserve notes that aren't worth the paper they're written on. But as we predicted, as the euro goes down first, that makes the dollar go back up, makes gold and silver go down, but only for a time before it seesaws and the implosion starts here. And even CNBC admits the United States is in much worse a shape than Europe once the implosion begins here. We wish that wasn't the case, but that is coming. So those of you who watch gold and silver dropping, that is something that we have predicted before it rockets back up. Because all the mathematical facts, all of history shows that they will hyperinflate the currency when they go to QE3, QE4. We thought that would start by early this year. It has not happened yet. But it's a foregone conclusion, or all those derivatives are going to go belly up. And you see that starting with J.P. Morgan now. But that itself will cause all sorts of problems. I mean, it goes from, would you like to be shot in the head 5 times with a shotgun, a double-lock buck, or 15 times with an AR-15 223? I mean, either way, there's nothing left here. I mean, this is off the charts crazy. And we've all been maneuvered into this position, but the elites themselves have lost control. So it is definitely a crazy, crazy, crazy loco, bonkers, bizarro, Neverland, dark crystal world that we are hurtling into headlong. That's really the best way to say it. Okay, enough of the pleasantries and notes here. There are